Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Vertical Take with Jennifer and Taha. This is episode 65, and why not celebrate this auspicious number with the director? We have Sir Danny Farber here.
Hey,
Yay!
what's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Taha. Thank you, Jennifer, for having me on the show today.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. So, Danny, I'm just going to dive right into it.
Yeah.
So, Danny, let's start from the
Yes.
top. What got you first interested in the entertainment world? Was it acting, music, or something else that sparked the talent for it?
Oh, God. Great question. I think for me, the love of entertainment kind of came from being a kid watching some of my favorite movies. School of Rock or Cheaper by the Dozen were both really big, like instrumental movies for me, where you could see just a bunch of kids having so much fun on camera. And I was like,
Yeah.
that seems like that's something that I want to pursue. I want to do pretty actively.
Definitely. And so, you are multi-talented. Like you've got your directing, your acting, you got your music. Did you always imagine yourself exploring those creative lanes, or did it just happen naturally?
The music thing is definitely, for anybody that knows me, is like absolutely the most out of character, I think. I've had so many like theater directors growing up. Everybody in my family, anybody's like who hears me for more than 2 seconds is like, you're tone deaf, right? You definitely you can't sing. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. So that's been a more of a recent kind of exploration, and I think that kind of came about. I've been playing music since I was a teenager, and when I'd
Yeah.
audition for things, before a big callback, or if I had to go in for an in-person director session, I would play my guitar really badly, and I'd just strum really loudly, and just kind of just get like the vocal out, and I would creatively fail somewhere, and it gave me like the subconscious like trick to say, okay, so I've already failed creatively here. I'm going to succeed creatively elsewhere.
Oh,
So that was kind of like an early approach to music for me, where then I started, doing so many of these verticals, and the acting stuff started taking off a little bit. And I found music as an outlet now to be creative without the ramifications of like my rent still, relies on me being talented musically. And so it just became like a free expression version of myself, because so much of my employment is tied to being professionally creative. And so this was just like a really fun release of just like, here's just be creative and just have fun with that. So that's kind of like where at least the music side of it all came into it. Gosh, do you want me to go down the acting and the directing? They're all separate stories.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, of course, who knows who's interested in these things? So like, I'm more than happy to do it. And I also understand that like people are here to see the actors. So I want to, whatever. If you're listening to the Danny Farber episode, this is the Danny Farber episode, I guess.
It's your episode.
Exactly. Yeah. This is all about you.
All right. So I, been acting since middle school, professionally, doing like local community theater and short films and sketches with my friends and all the things, whatever. And when it came time for college, I really wanted to go to acting, like theater school. And my parents just said, absolutely not. You need to have a plan B. We're not saying acting won't work out, but just in case, have a plan B. And thank God for them, and thank God for that, because my plan B was like, okay, well, I'm going to learn how to make movies. I'm going to go to film school, and I'm going to put myself in my own movies. And they were like, that's a better. We don't know how the entertainment industry works, but we know on a film set there's hundreds of people, so there's a lot of different jobs there.
Right.
And that was a wonderful way into like production and finding a lane in terms of how a set operates. It started to kind of demystify this thing that I built up in my head as like the holy grail, the untouchable, like the goal that you're chasing. It slowly broke down every piece of like how a set works and how people coordinate themselves. And as I started making my own productions, I slowly started to be able to flex other creative muscles. And I was an assistant director for a while, and that was great to help with organizing and scheduling and seeing how great directors or not so great directors kind of do the job and how they operate. And they say that ADing is a pipeline into producing.
Yes.
There's the dog. And so I went from ADing to producing music videos and short films and a couple of feature films here in Chicago. And producing was a great way to like understand just like all of the pieces of the puzzle of like, okay, not only do we need to understand like how a film set runs, but also logistically, what should you look for in terms of like accommodations, or in terms of what a director really needs, or how can we cheat things to say, okay, well, if you need this giant mansion, do you really need the whole mansion, or do we need 3 rooms from the mansion? And can we get that from 3 different houses that feel similar enough? So you start thinking like an indie producer, which then all of that informed my directing. Where, all right, I've done the scheduling, I've done the AD. I was a production assistant, so I know the bottom line of it. I know the bottom of the totem pole for all of it. Yeah. And then ADing, I know how to run a set, how to schedule a giant shoot of a feature film, and the pieces that you need to make line up. And then producing, I understand the logistics of like creatively, what are the things that we absolutely need to tell the story. And then directing on top of all that with an acting background really helped me analyze the script in a way that I never had to do on any other job before, where you're given 120 pages and you're like, this is an unsurmountable task. This is such a giant thing that we have to do in under 2 weeks here. How do I do it? And you just start chunking it away and breaking down piece at a time, page at a time, and say, well, logistically, I can work it out from this way. Creatively, I kind of really do need these things, and let your instinct kind of guide you in terms of like, I don't need that. I want that, but I understand that if I get that, I'm going to lose this over here. This is my best middle ground that satisfies all pieces of the puzzle. And that was a really long-winded way of saying that it helped to do a little bit of everything, you know?
No, this is all, I always love hearing this, because like I love hearing like the behind the scenes type things. Because because you see like a movie, you see a vertical, and you're like, well, it had to have been created somehow. Like, how did it get there?
It doesn't just fall out of the box. Yeah. Like you gotta, and sometimes it does fall out of the box. And I think that is a testament to our phenomenal cinematographers, our gaffers, our producers, everybody, production designers. Sometimes you'll just see a thing and you're like, you absolutely nailed it. Like, this is, I'm not going to adjust. I'll move the tree a little bit to the right, or like, oh, I love the banner that you did there, but can we just lower it like half a foot so I see more of it? Like, there are some things that like, this is such a team effort. It's a team sport. Filmmaking is a team sport any way you slice it. And I think that below the line crew needs as much recognition. It's wonderful to get recognition as a director, but like, everybody needs, it doesn't happen because of me. It happens because of everybody, Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, because we have, like, as you can see, we have 65 guests that we've had on the show. We need to get those interviews out, but I would definitely, once we get caught up, love to start digging deeper into not necessarily the actors or the directors, but like the light guys, the people. Because we have had some intimacy coordinators on here, which was interesting. But we would love to have some of the other people, because like I said, this whole process is just so interesting to learn about. So.
And there's so many wonderful people that I'd love to be able to give the spotlight to that deserve it. So when you guys are looking for that, just let me know and I'll pass people along.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Would love that. Perfect.
Also, I put on noise canceling here now, so if I sound different, that's what had just happened.
No, you sound perfect.
Oh, no, you're good.
You're good. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, Danny, was there a particular moment where you thought, yeah, I'm ready to direct now? And what pushed you to make that move?
Oh, gosh. Particular moment where I thought I was ready to direct. I don't think you're ever fully ready to direct. And I think the second you step on your first set, you're like, I could do this. Like, I think there's a little bit of both. It depends on the personality type for sure. But like, the first thing I ever did direct was in film school. So like that was an easy, safe class experience. And you start with these little, small projects for an assignment, really. And it's like, here's your, it's so funny. Like, we're going to go all the way back, and then I'm not going to take us all the way through the thing. But like on the first project, what was great, and anybody that's looking to get into directing, I would say, steal this, save yourself $60,000. Here's the best thing I learned in film school. Really, like truthfully, one of the most exciting ways to like shoot something is give yourself constraints. Say creatively, you have to do it with within 2 locations. You have to have this one secret phrase, you know, and then this magical prop has to appear somewhere. And then without having a script, you then start to build a story, and you start to build a story.
Yeah.
Okay, has to be this, has to be that. Okay, I need to somehow work in the broomstick, and I have to say guacamole's extra. Like and then you have to like tie all of the pieces together, and then everything starts firing. You're like, okay, because the blank page is the scariest thing you could look at. So just to give yourself creative constraints, you're ready to go. From the directing side of things, after you have your story, you know, I don't even know, like, so I started doing music videos in Chicago, short films in Chicago. Okay, there was one experience with a production company called 3 AM Productions, and they were trying to do anthology-based web series where it was love stories, and every episode is a different love story, and it's very cute.
Yeah.
And they sent me, 12 scripts that were all 10 to 15 pages long, and they really were looking for directors, and they wanted me to help them produce this. And I was like, great, that's it. It was a queer-led company, and it was a lot of female filmmakers, and I was like happy to be an ally and be a part of the team, and like how can I help? And as I'm looking through the scripts, one of them was just nagging at me, and I was like, well, I could direct that one. And it's a gay love story, and I'm not a gay man, but I was like, I can see how this goes. This is live action Pixar. This is all nonverbal. This could be really, and if we do this from here, we do this from here. And I started in my mind seeing the movie, and I was like, I gave them some options for directors that I think would be great for other scripts. And then I started in the email. I was like, but this script I think would be great. And not only did I mention that I think I could do this, I think I went a step further, and I gave them, it was like a pitch deck or a lookbook or a mood board, and something that says, here's visually how I can present this story to you, as almost like a job opportunity. I'm like, here's a thing that I think would look great. And from that moment, they were kind of taken aback, and they're like, yeah, this is great. We're looking for directors, and if you think you can handle this one, we love where you're the vision you want to take this. And it was in pre-production as we're casting everything, and we're finding the locations, and I'm helping produce it and get the gear and the crew and the stuff. It all had just been things that I've been doing as an assistant director and as a producer. And I'd already started to direct my own shorts and maybe a music video or two somewhere in the ether. And so it became a thing of like the first time where I was like directing something narrative that I didn't write, that had a different production company attached to it. And it just it wasn't like, I think the moment that like sparked for me was reading the script and seeing the movie in my mind. Yeah. So if you ever have that kind of like inertia and you say, okay, this is how this should be shot. This is how I see this editing together. Oh, a big music moment happens here. Or like, we got to shoot this through rain. I know it doesn't say rain, but let's get a little bit, those ideas start percolating, and you're able to then be like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to take the reins. Let me try. And I think that was kind of the first time where I was like, I think I could use the skills that I've had in other areas and start focusing more specifically here.
Okay. So going a little bit away from like, so you're also like, you're an actor also. Mm-hmm. When you're on set as an actor working under another director, do you ever catch yourself studying how they run things?
Always. Always a learning environment, dude. And that's the coolest thing with the film set, because like as a PA, I would study the ADs, and as I would study the actors, and I'd study the directors. At every level, you're constantly, and so for your question specifically, yes, as an actor, because there's only so many ways to make a movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's really cool ways to be like, oh, I would not have started my coverage from here, but it makes so much sense to do it this way. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to be in front of somebody else's lens, to try and get into their head, and also like, how do they communicate with actors? How are they not communicating with their crew? How are things that they're doing successful and unsuccessful? and where
Mhm.
can I kind of fine tune that in my own approach?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. There's always doesn't matter what you do in life. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is
Always
power,
trying to
baby.
Yeah,
Knowledge is
always trying to
power.
learn something. It doesn't matter if it's something from the makeup artist. Learn something.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's and that's so funny because I don't have a wealth of knowledge applying makeup to my own face, but now I understand how long if I want this smoky eye kind of look or this runny mascara, I understand how long it's going to take to reset that look. And is
Hmm.
the next scene if she's got to be beautiful and glamorous? Well, maybe we think about what the creative approach is in terms of like what does that look like? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, Danny, you've played a range of roles, from the intense to the funny. What kind of character do you have the most fun when it comes to like bringing them to life? Are you more drawn to the hero, the villain, or the comedic scene stealer that everyone remembers you from?
I, I love a scene stealer. I think that's always yeah. I mean, like it's great. It's great to be like the a hero of a story. It's always fun to like have people see something through your eyes.
Right.
Um, I don't like particularly love doing the villain stuff. I've done that a couple times, and it's like it just doesn't always like I don't need to shake that muscle as much. But the
Right.
scene stealers, if you only have you know a moment or two in a couple scenes in the thing, you want to do what you can to like make sure that feels lived in and that's memorable. And
Yeah.
so because that's also the challenge of an actor too. It's like, okay, how do I make these two lines funny? If it's supposed to be funny, if it's not supposed to
Right.
be funny, get out of your own way. Just service the story. But
Yeah.
if there's room, and I find myself booking a lot of those roles where it's like it might not be a funny show or movie or vertical or whatever the thing is, but it is like, all right, well, this guy can give it. Everybody needs like a little bit of like a valve release on the thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'll just come in with like a little quip or like a look or a breath, and like I love those. Those are my favorite for sure.
Now
It's
I know.
always so. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No, no, go
Todd.
ahead, Jennifer. Go ahead.
Well, no. I was just gonna say that it's always interesting because I'll like be watching like verticals, and it's like, oh, there's Danny Farber.
That's, and
You
I'll tell you,
always make those. Yeah, you always make those like little
The little cameo.
little
yeah,
jobs.
cameos.
I've
Yeah.
only done them for things that I've directed. So if
Yeah.
you've seen me in any of them, I've made that one.
Directed by
Yeah.
Danny Farber. No, it makes
Hashtag
sense.
directed by Danny Farber. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Using
But I
copyrighted material.
honestly, that might be a bigger conversation altogether too. But I
Yeah, shit.
appreciate any kind of time. I was a
Oh, I got you.
bartender on a TV show for Fox with
Right.
an actor from Mad Men, Vincent Kartheiser,
Okay.
and that was super cool. As like it was early in my like acting journey.
Mhm.
It was a big union show, and it was a SAG contract, and I had my own trailer, and I was like, oh my god. And I remember doing that. And he was so generous. He was so cool. He'd been on this Emmy-winning show for almost 10 years. Like, dude's been in the industry forever. And at lunch, I was like, how do you think I did? And he goes, it doesn't matter. And I go, well, what do you mean? This is like my big moment. He goes, this isn't your big moment. Whatever you just did, the fact that you booked a job was the big moment. The 3 or 4 lines you had in the scene does not matter. And I was like, it took a lot of. At first, I was like a little like insulted. I was like, "What do you mean? I care so much." But he was so right. Where like it takes so much pressure off of those scene stealer kind of moments. Where it's like that doesn't matter. It's all about brick by brick building a career, and then when you're ready to pop, then you can go for your thing. Then something else will matter because everything else, you might approach it like it matters, when in reality, it's okay. It's a co-star on a 1 season run of a Fox TV show.
Yeah. So, out of all the roles that you've done so far, which one do fans bring up the most? And is there one that people always seem to recognize you from?
Okay. The ones at least the vertical world knows for a while, because I just thought it would be so dumb and funny. I put myself in one that I made, the ruthless mistaken surrogate for the ruthless billionaire on Good Show, with Robert Palmer Watkins and
Okay.
Angela
Yep. I
Russo.
watched that
And
one.
it's I'm a blink if you miss it. Right in the first episode, I let Rob take the door, and I'm like, oh, excuse me, sir, whatever. It's something like the elevator or whatever. And on the IMDb, as a joke, I put hot guy in elevator, just because I thought it'd be funny, and like I was dumb. And a lot of the vertical fan accounts started like calling me hot guy in elevator and all the things. And I was like, that's so silly. But that's the point of like doing like dumb and silly things and like hiding them in verticals.
Yeah.
You being the father.
What was that?
You being the father.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
priest, yeah.
Oh yeah, the father. I called him Father Weissman because I thought it'd be because I'm Jewish, and I was like, to have a Jewish priest would be kind of funny. So I just like Father Weissman.
Not a rabbi.
Not a rabbi. Exactly. I was like, isn't this funnier? Like, where is the hidden joke? Nobody needs to know, but for me and for whoever to pick up on it, then that's where the joke is even funnier.
Yeah.
In college, at my brother's college, actually, which is funny, like was I think the claim to fame I had, I was in a Chance the Rapper music video.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first 15 seconds of the video, it's me and this girl or the thing, whatever, and that became a thing where I kept getting recognized. Just small town kind of vibes of like, you were the guy for the Chance video, that's so funny. What else have I gotten recognized for? I was on every Chase ATM in America for like 13 weeks. No, they extended. Wow. So for 26 weeks. Then forever I just kept getting
When was this?
This was 2023, and I got texts from everybody being like, did you just give me $20? Like, what's going on here?
Right.
So, like, it's always
I probably missed you because I have Chase too. Shit.
You definitely missed. I was definitely there.
Yeah.
I was on your ATM for a while. But so that on the commercial side, on like the music video side, I don't know. I'm in a couple like Lifetime movies, just like very like blink if you missed it. I did one Lifetime movie in 2017, and I was the assistant director of it. Oh. And somebody fell through day player, and the director's like, you act, be our guy. And I was like, okay. And so I'm in it's like 2 scenes real quick, whatever. And I remember he gives me an adjustment, like a director's note, and I just take the adjustment, and he just goes, huh, that was pretty good. All right, moving on. And I was like, I knew I got this shit. And so like, occasionally when Snapchat was like a bigger thing, I'd get Snapchats from people being like, did I just see you in Lifetime? And so there is not like one real role yet. But one day I will have a couple role defining career moments. And then you can ask me that again and I'll have a better answer for you.
Okay. We'll hold you to that.
I'll hold myself to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Danny, you've directed vertical dramas, which is such a cool and specific medium. What do you love about storytelling in that short mobile format? And what makes it challenging compared to traditional filmmaking?
Oh, Taha, that's a great question, man. I think traditional filmmaking and vertical filmmaking is very similar. Where it's the same crew, same positions on set. Sometimes you have a little bit less resources than you normally would, but you just gotta kind of make do.
Right.
The hardest part is like the production schedule is really, really tight, and the expectation for these things are getting higher and higher and higher. Like initially, the first 20 that I did, it was great because it was like the threshold, the barrier of entry was a little bit easier, and the expectation for what you're going to get put out was a lot lower. Where it was like, well, it's just a vertical, it's fine. And then all of us on the creative side were like, sure. Or we can also take this as an opportunity to make a movie and and do it well. And I think now Gen 2 of verticals, I think is going to be crazy because I think it's going to be a lot higher production quality demands, but not really more budget or more time. So like we'll have to all figure that out. But with traditional storytelling versus like mobile storytelling, we're able to let things breathe a lot more on longer form narrative content. A moment should land. We don't always need to spell everything out. We don't always need to see every important beat. Where a vertical, you wanna be there for, you want to be on the frontal for every slap. You don't want to take that from big, far, and away and all these things. But no. You got to be right up in the face. Yeah. You can't really play the subtext for anything. I tell my actors all the time, keep your performance right at the front of your face. I can't have anything back here because nobody's going to – it doesn't edit like that. So as they're cutting things and they're going to put goofy music underneath it and they're going to do the snap zoom-ins and all the stuff, it's like you need a heightened level of performance to match how it's going to be delivered to then have those two things line up. Versus traditional storytelling – features are different than TV, but with features, you kind of you can set your own pace and set your own tone, and say, Paul Thomas Anderson on the One Battle After Another. A lot of that violence actually isn't on the person who gets inflicted the pain; it's the person who shoots the gun. So you don't actually see a lot of it, and like that kind of stuff is intentional and it's subtle, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're not gratifying. It's not being gratuitous in any way. It's actually showcasing a little bit more of like, oh wow, this is how this affects somebody's psyche a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that you're able to have your own rule book and features. TV and verticals, I think, are very similar though, because like TV, procedural TV at least, is like pretty formulaic. We're at NCIS's bullpen. We're in Jethro Gibbs's office. We are at a crime scene. We're underneath at the morgue, and then we're out. So that you kind of got to follow similar guidelines as verticals do.
What's one behind the scene challenge that viewers would never guess happens, and when does it? Wait a minute, hold on. How do you keep calm and pull things back together?
I did one recently where we had an actress bailed day of.
Oh shit!
Just straight up bailed.
Wait, did she come on set or she never showed up?
Yeah, she was supposedly driving down. We were shooting in just outside of San Diego.
Okay.
And just didn't, and then and gave maybe somebody they knew on the way down. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. And it's that thing of, okay, so what do we do? Like, how do we're all here. We're all ready for this to go.
Right.
And it's that thing of calling in a favor, calling in a friend who is reliable, who wants to drive down near San Diego and give them, the day rate and put them in the movie and make sure that, it all makes sense. This was specific too, because this had to be the sister of our lead actress. So they have to kind of look similar, and there's got to be a similar vibe, and there's got to be a specific age demographic. So all of those things, it's like an audience will never know that. They'll only know what you present to them. But for all of us on that day, we had to shift all of our production schedule. We had to turn some scenes that were supposed to be daytime into nighttime because we were going to run out of sunlight unless we did it that way. We now had to move our hospital scene with the sister to the end of the day, which was hard because there also was a lot of windows in that room. So I had to recalibrate like where our bed was, and we had to redress the space because now I can't see the windows because by the time she gets here, it's going to be nighttime, and we're on the 15th floor of a building, and I can't make that daytime. I just can't do that. So all of those things, and it's just like you just take it, copy that, okay, and exactly one of these.
Yep.
It's fun because at the end of the day, too, and I think with bigger budgets and with even with bigger budgets, I subscribe to the idea that like it's just a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of the world. It can't be the end of the world. This won't break society if this thing doesn't.
Yeah.
The ramifications of this actress bailing don't extend past these four walls in this space right now.
Yeah.
So clearly there are things too that like I had an actress in Turkey one time. She was a day player. She's very sweet. She showed up drunk on her last day and just could not. And she was being a total pain in the butt to the hair and makeup people and the wardrobe people. And it's all happening at the trailers back at base camp. And I'm on set. And I'm seeing our ADs talk with our producers a lot. And my like spidey senses were tingling. And I was like, what's going on? They're like, we don't want to tell you. And I was like, what's going on? Like, just focus on the shot. And I was like, okay. I finished the setup. We finished the shot. We're moving cameras around. I go, so what's going on? They go, all right, well, we think she is. I don't know. Maybe we should. We don't really know what's going on. Maybe she has been. She's acting like goofy. So I was like, can I see her? They go, sure. So I walk over to the trailers. She's pretty inebriated, and I have to I pull her aside real quick and I go, hey, have you been drinking? Oh, I had a party earlier. I had like 2 drinks. I'm okay. And I go, okay, I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to let you go for the day, just like that. And she goes, what? And I go, I'm so sorry, you're fired. You can't show up to my set drunk. And she starts back, no, but I don't. And I just very calmly walk away. And the ADs kind of take her. The producers make sure that they get her a ride home. They made sure that they got her in an Uber. They made sure she got her safely to where she needed to go. And that was kind of the end of that conversation. I know that she probably feels very embarrassed about this. And hopefully this was a learning lesson to her. But like, for me, that's
definitely
cut her dry. It's like, you are or you're not. Okay, you are.
Yeah.
There's no room really for you professionally on this project right now. to be here. So
Yeah.
we're going to remove you from the project. And, you know, I'm not going to blacklist you. I'm not going to say whose name it was, any of those things. But, like,
No,
Yeah.
of course not.
and she was written into 4 or 5 scenes. And so, and the audience will never know that she's not in those scenes because, like, she's not in those scenes. And, like, we can work around it. And it is what it is. But, like, you got it. Sometimes it's just copy that. All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
So, Danny, during these long shoot days, they can be very brutal. Energy
Mhm.
dips, everyone's tired. How do you keep your team motivated and in good spirits when the day just keeps going?
Huh. Hilarious. That's really funny because I think of the wonderful producers and production coordinators or anybody on the team who's there to help keep me motivated and help keep me happy. Like, it is, sometimes it does not come from me. Sometimes it does. And a lot of, like, all right, there it is. Like, physically just clapping and, like, we got this.
Yeah.
Let's go. But also, too, people don't want that always from your director to be like,
Right.
you know, overall, you got to set a tone and, like, help establish that. But there's
Exactly.
there was a moment, it's somewhere on my Instagram from one of my Istanbul shoots, and my dear friend, she was a producer on one of our films, named Bensu Aaron. She was pulling me out of the trailers because it was lunch and it was 11 p.m. and we just got done with lunch and I had another 6 hours ahead of me and I had to finish and I had to keep working and it was day 9 of 12 and I was like, oh my God. And I just didn't want to work. And she's like, come on, you got this, let's go. and I was like, I don't want to work anymore. So, like,
Right.
I think we all kind of, and, like, there's been, like, some really, like, great, like, actors who are also like, you got this, bud. So, like, it's me to them and them to me and me to camera and camera back to me. Everybody does kind of help each other out on these things. And, you know, I try and be really cognizant of crew morale and cast morale on these things.
Mhm.
Like, hey, we're not starting our shoot with night shoots. Number one, it just makes no sense. Start your day stuff and get your day stuff done. But then, like, there are some places where, okay, this space is going to be great, but we can't start shooting half of our day till 10 p.m. I'll just say no. I'll say nope. I'll find somewhere else to put. And it's the crew doesn't know about these things some of the time, but
Yeah.
it's in our location scouts or our tech scouts or whatever, where I'm thinking, all right, well, on day 7, well, everybody's exhausted. We're really going to have to go to this place where we can't start until 10 p.m. Like, I'd rather, as wonderful as the space could be, and it works great on camera, and it's production friendly, and it's within our budget, I'd rather keep the team happy and just say no. So a lot of me doing that is kind of me doing that, like, not privately, but, like, behind the scenes, even for them. And then on set, I'll always have a guitar. Lately, especially if I'm traveling for work, I'll ask for production to provide a guitar for me. So that kind of helps keep morale happy. It's not necessarily the best for them because they're not jamming. They're trying to work. I'm just, like, diddling on the strings. But for me, it's too. It's like I've learned if I'm just here and I'm looking at the monitor, about 5 minutes ago, I asked for this one plant right here just to go from here to here. And I'm looking at the monitor and I just want that one plant to go from here to here. And I'm seeing the thing, and I know the person who I asked to do it, and they're off running doing 18 other things that I don't know what they're doing, and it's whatever. But if I'm just looking, and then I get frustrated, so I move the plant from here to here, and then that gets them frustrated because they're like, I was going to do it, I just had other things to do. So what I'll do is, opposed to looking at the monitor, I'll set up the thing, I'll make all my notes. Hey, light has to come from here, art goes that way, we're going to look over here, a little bit lower, wider lens, all the things. And then I'll take the guitar and I won't look at the monitor. And it's been a huge morale boost, I think, for everybody. For me not to stare at this thing constantly. Let people work, do their job. I can have a second or two to break, to just kind of let my mind do anything else.
Yeah.
And it's better than having to go to the crafty table and snack on food or whatever. It just helps with the musicality of all the things and keeps you creatively somewhere and in the rhythm. And then I'll look back and I'll be like, okay, great. Look at that plant. It moved from here to here and the lighting changed from over here. Ooh, this thing still isn't right. So let me adjust that now. But I've gotten a little bit more perspective and I don't have to see the whole change. I can just see A and a B opposed to the transition between A and B.
Yeah. Why is it? Because I've heard this from several, like, actors and actresses and things like that. Why is it that sometimes when a project starts the very first scene will be an intimacy scene. It's like
Dude,
you don't even
it's,
know each other yet.
I know, and I can't. I don't know. It's something that I'm always trying to be so cognizant. Having been an AD for like 6 years, I
Yeah,
understand how scheduled in all, it's never a thing. And I can't speak to other productions or other
yeah,
directors or whatever but my assumption is that nobody wants it to start that way. If you're
no,
starting
yeah,
there, it's because it absolutely has to. And
yeah,
there's 85 other things that are like, well, shit, we have to do all of our stuff in the house on this day because this house is only available for this day. Okay,
Right.
yeah,
so on this day there's going to be, and this is where the intimacy stuff is. Okay, well, it can't be the nighttime stuff because we have the kids at the nighttime stuff, and we can't have the kids at the nighttime. Okay, so now it's got to be before lunch. Okay, great.
yeah,
Well, it can't be the thing just before lunch because the sun is going to be in a really terrible angle, so we're actually going to want to be inside for that. So we should do our outside stuff before it gets to be super toppy and noon. So, oh god, our first scene is going to be the end of me. No, I've had that maybe
uh,
twice where I've been like, oh god, okay, and then in doing that, you just let everybody know ahead of time. Say, hey, so sorry, and then you can explain too the house and the sun and the kids so that's why, or you just say, is this okay, and if not, okay, let's try and find another. But oftentimes we don't really have a lot of other options.
yeah,
And as the actors, if they're not given that 360 visibility as to like why things are like that, I totally understand why somebody be like, this is not the best way to do this. There are some, and I'm guilty of it too. So it's not necessarily with the intimacy stuff that I try to be really specific about. But for most other things, I'll just kind of say, hey, it's got to be like this, and I can tell you, or you can just kind of trust me right now, and we can save
yeah.
ourselves both the 4.5 minutes it's going to take for me to explain step by step how we got
Mhm.
here. And most time actors are like, it's fine, whatever. And so,
Yeah.
but that is
Well,
sometimes what it is. It's more often than not, it's logistic, and it sucks.
yeah. I mean, if they didn't know each other before, they definitely know each other now.
Yeah, now we're gonna do the thing. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly. And hopefully, hope to God, it's not anything in your first 10 episodes, and it's nothing super spicy. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, when you do look back at everything you've directed, what's been the biggest lesson behind the camera? Something that maybe that changed how you approach your work now that you can think of?
hmm The biggest lesson after everything, I've directed everything.
Because you got a pretty hefty IMDb.
Mm,
And that's
Yeah,
mm.
which the longer I do this, the more I realize that in other parts of the world, it's not as impressive as it is in our industry.
True.
Which is just
yeah,
hey, the one
Grounding
thing I can
yourself
rest my
right there.
yeah, as long I got a nice IMDb, and that's about it. No, but I would say out of all of the experiences, I can't really boil it down to one thing other than communication is key. And it's kind of a little antithetical to what I just was explaining. How I'm like, I could explain it to you, or you can just kind of trust me, which is also a
yeah,
form of communication, I think. But ultimately, like it is, communication is key, and just understanding, because a lot of it when you're working internationally too, with crews that English isn't their native language,
mhm.
and for somebody like me, I just speak fast naturally. So even
Yeah,
in English, it's hard to catch what I say sometimes. So it's effectively creating uh, um, visually implementing a story, getting your creative idea across, and communicating that to a team of people is hard enough in one language, and it's really
mhm.
complicated when you're working in three languages, which has happened
Yeah,
sometimes between Turkish, English, and Chinese, and you're kind of just like in between all these different things. And I think understanding that everybody's a human, and that's number one. Number one, try and effectively, clearly communicate a creative idea. It's number two.
yeah,
It's just a fucking movie. It's just a
Literally.
movie.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a movie. And that's the hardest thing too, because oftentimes I'm gonna care more than everybody else about about the small things and the big things. The client will care immensely about small things.
Yeah.
Of course, the big things too, but like that's their thing. I think actors really care about their piece of the puzzle. Directors has to care about all of the things, and the big and the small, how it relates, and is this right too, and just taking that pressure off of yourself and be like, it's just a fucking movie. It's fine. Yeah. It's not a. It's just a movie, and everybody's human. And as long as we're all able to understand how we got from A to Z, then I think that's a successful job on the set.
Gold digger to his lucky charm with Alexa ready, and
I'm telling you, that's exactly that was something
that was the one.
But that was really fun because I wanted to play one of them really drunk, like really just a little more drunk than you're supposed to play. Yeah. And as you're doing it, you're on camera, and I'm also set up my shot here, and I'm set up my shot here, and I know that I got a guy here and I got a guy here, so I've set my eye line up perfectly for the thing. And you got to play it kind of drunk, and I can't also call action while drunk. I needed somebody else to do the thing, so that was with Halogen Cinema and Nick Fabiano, who's a fantastic director. He was there. I asked him to be there that day because he's part of Halogen, and I was like, "Can you? When I'm acting, I know that I'm going to go drunk for one of these things. Can you just be?" My support system behind monitor here and help me, with the thing. I just had IVU in Turkey. She's also a director. She's a good short too. And as I'm in the scene, and I played a queer character because I was like, this is kind of what this character needs to be. It's like, it just feels like off the top that's how this is written. And it wasn't necessarily written specifically for that, but I was like, this is going to add a layer of dimensionality that wasn't there otherwise, that I think really helps enhance kind of what we're doing. And I was like, can you help keep me like, just believable in this world of the things. I don't want to be over the top, and I don't want to be a caricature, and I don't want to be offensive. I just think this is and so relying on other people behind monitor that you trust as you're acting and directing is like that's the only way to do both those things together. You got to have other people you trust behind the thing.
Absolutely,
exactly.
I agree. So the entertainment industry can be very unpredictable at times. How do you personally handle rejection from these moments when a project doesn't go the way you had hoped it would have went?
My gut instinct to that question is fuck them.
That's fine.
I think that's and it's a lot easier as an actor where you're like, they didn't take me for 1,000 reasons I'll never know. It's hard as a director. It's hard when you don't get a job and you've spent a lot of hours making a pitch deck for something. And then, now my mood board, my treatment, my pitch deck, it's just for nothing. It's harder, I think, when you get something and they totally recut it and edit it in a way that, that's 90% of my verticals. I think I'm happy with about 85% of 40% of my verticals. I don't think there's one vertical where I'm happy 100% of the way through with it. And I think part of that is like, you'll never be satisfied with your own work as an artist or whatever, and like always strive to be better.
Yeah.
But a bigger part of that too is like, well, the sound wasn't right, or the color was off, or why did they use that take? Or I went back and forth with the client and I was like, we need to be on her coverage for this moment because, and they're like, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to do the obvious answer opposed to the subtle answer. And, when it's not your money, you're kind of just beholden to however the chips land. Yeah. And I think for that too, it's like, fuck them. It's not fuck them in like, how dare they? But it's fuck them in like, fuck them. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I did my thing.
They're
whatever.
Lost.
I did the thing, and they don't want to do the thing. They see it a different way. That's, none of my business, really. I'm the guy making the movie, and they're the people that own the movie and want to distribute it.
I gave my professional input. They don't want it. All right. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'll just stay as a puppet.
And as long as, the professional relationship is still intact and there's another job lined up, then we'll get him on the next one, and I'll be happy with 80% of that one, So I think that's been really healthy, though, just to distance yourself completely from the art. In the, on the art side of things, the craft is making the movie.
Yes.
It's not distributing the movie.
No.
And on the business side of things, on like the commercial side of things, it's not my movie. So just don't, it's no sweat, it's not, go on to the next one. So.
Yeah. I think that's what I've heard this several times. That, especially when it comes to rejection, and I know it's really, really hard to get into this mindset, but if you don't get it, it wasn't yours to begin with.
Was never yours.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's
that's
just that
that's hard.
the hard thing though, and I feel as an actor, I feel it all the time, and like it hasn't happened a bunch, but there has been a couple times where you have to release somebody, and you're like, the other person came in, we already sent an offer out to somebody,
Yeah.
and then for whatever reason, the client side, my first choice, budget wise, all of these, there's 1,000 things. The lead person does not fuck with this other person. Like there are so many other things where it's just like,
Yeah.
and then you got to find a way to like put them in the movie somewhere. Hey, I know we offered you this role. We can't do that anymore. Here's something else if you're down. And if not,
Wow.
no worries. Let's try and get you on the next one. But that also happens too, which is a bummer.
Is that your responsibility? Like, as a director, are you the one that fires people, the one that puts them in other? No. Okay.
Well, to an
I mean, you
extent.
can.
Yeah.
In Istanbul with the girl that was drunk on set, that was
Right.
I want her to know that it had gotten back to me, so that way she's a young actress, she's 19 or 20 or whatever, and so she should know that the director came out and the director fired her. Like you
Right.
kind of need to be that guy sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But it isn't. I don't think so. I don't know. I think it's a little circumstantial to find your place, because then also there's a space where like it's just not appropriate for the person doing it that come from a producer. So
Yeah. Okay. So everyone gets to the point where they have those creative burnouts at some point. When that happens, what do you do to reconnect with that spark and to find that inspiration again?
that's Jennifer. It's so relevant. That's a great question, because like I don't know. I'm trying to find it. I think music for me was a lot of that though. Was or like recently, because I've just done, I don't know, 7 verticals back to back, and I haven't gotten. I just booked a commercial as an actor, and a national commercial, and I had to turn it down because I was directing a vertical in Turkey, and like I'm trying to maybe throw a little bit more acting in my palette for 2026, and not that I don't love directing, I just creative burnout is so real, and to keep me wanting to do this thing and to perform at a level that I think people have come to expect of me, I need to step away from it a little bit. This whole month of October, I'm not taking any jobs. I just need a second to not
Chill.
take a job.
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
No,
back to
after
back to
7
back
back to back, you crazy? Dang.
It's why, and truthfully, I haven't taken more than a 10-day break since April of 2024. So it's been over a year of just power through. Creative burnout is so real too. I think like the best thing you can do is like have another hobby that's not in this industry.
Yeah.
Just if it's working out, if it's running, if it's tending to a garden, like it's all of the things that like are really, really great. Yesterday I went to my brother's house and we pulled out bushes in his front yard, and like was so great to like not have to think about 1,000 things at once, turn my brain off, and like just give it the recharge time, the reset. I have 4 scripts I have to read by the end of the week, and I don't love reading in the first place. So like it is this like it feels like homework, but like this is my job and this is my homework, and I know I'm not working this month, but I gotta read these scripts. And so it's like I'm a carrot and a stick kind of thing, where I'm like, all right, well, if I read 20 pages right now, well then I can go and I can play some guitar, and then and then I'll wait 4 hours. I'm like, oh my god, that's my stick, and I gotta go. Here's 20 more pages, and then I'll eat a little junk food or like whatever the thing is, and I'll give you gotta circumnavigate and trick the mind into finding ways to be creative.
Yeah. So imposter syndrome is something that a lot of artists face. Do you ever struggle with it? And if so, how do you push past it?
I think every job, every day one, there's always that.
Okay.
Just doesn't even still, I'm still like, oh, God, am I really the guy that's supposed to be doing this? They want me to do this? It's crazy.
Exactly.
It's and I've been acting since I was 13, and as an actor too, I'm always like, oh, they should not have. They could have gotten anybody. Why me? All right. I mean, so that's super, super real. And it's just the voice in your head that says, I want to be here has to be louder than the voice in your head that's like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And it's just strengthening that voice in your head, being like, great. Or in the case of directing too, it's like front load your work. You can just prepare, and then that is helpful on both sides, in front of or behind camera, or kind of in anything. It's like if you're prepared enough, the imposter syndrome goes away as soon as you have to start doing the thing. The drive up to set, you might have it, or waiting in your trailer, you might have it, or right before action, you might have it, or even through lunch, you might have it. But as long as you're prepared, and as long as you're able to like just know that like you are there for a reason, I think that's super helpful to let that voice become smaller and smaller.
Yeah. So it's easy to get caught up in the spotlight in an industry that often celebrates egos. What keeps you grounded and humbled amidst it all?
Am I grounded and humbled? That's crazy. Thank you so much. I do hashtag directed by Danny Farber on everything. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know that I have a good answer for that. I think it's really hard not to get resentful in this industry. It's really hard not to look at somebody else's plate. And that's just you just can't do it. And Instagram makes things so complicated where you're like, the amount of my friends that are working right now this week on different continents that I love, that are doing things, and I'm like, I want to be. But I'm also like, great, I'm really happy to not be working right now is also like a huge blessing. But I think the ego of it all too is like, I think anybody who tells you that they have no ego is a fucking liar. I think you just got to have your ego in check and understand that like sometimes it is about you, and celebrate it when it's about you, and sometimes it's not about you, and shut up when it's not about you. And like that's I think the best you can do. And then in terms of like staying humble, like I don't know that I am. I hope that I am to an extent. And I had a really big reality check, I don't know, last summer or something like that, whenever I was back in Chicago recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just at a point in my life where everybody that I know that I grew up with is married and getting married and having kids and owning a house. And I have a great IMDb page. And that to me is the most humbling because I think it was last summer, and I was here for like 6 days, and not once did work come up for anybody. So I had nobody that I could even tell I have a cool IMDb page to. All they're doing is they're seeing that there's, didn't you have but now you don't have, and are you not gonna, okay. Well, you having fun in California? And you're like, damn, am I humbled right now, dude? I thought I was doing some cool shit. I was at the forefront of a new technology. What are we talking about? And it's like,
tell me about it.
Nothing like the Midwest to keep you like humble on your shit, being like, okay, cool. This is important to some people, and this isn't important. This is just entertainment for others. It's just a slice of what it is for. It's add-on and it's filler and it's just a movie, and like that truthfully is like the most humbling thing. And like I've lost so much sleep, and I've put so many I've put tens of thousands of hours since 2013 in this industry, and I just think that's a little silly sometimes, because at the end of the day, it's a little bit of seasoning to somebody's day. It's not their whole day. It certainly isn't their whole career, nor should it be. But it's just a part of what they do in their life. It's not the main part of their day even. It's the nightcap. And so just, remembering that is really helpful.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's interesting because you mentioned like how you went back and there was nobody to talk to about the entertainment and stuff like that. And I remember recently, because I've always thought anybody with a podcast was pretty cool. Like, I mean, hey, you're doing, you got a podcast. So I went to my day job, the job that I have full time, and I'm telling people, hey, I've started this podcast. We're interviewing actors. Nobody cared.
You seriously did that?
Well, I didn't go out of my way, but I brought it up. I was like, I have a podcast, and they're like, oh, what is your podcast on? I'm like, well, I interview like vertical actors, and they're like, vertical actors? What are vertical actors?
Exactly.
Like, we don't even know who these people are.
You're right. And you're like, trust me, this is a sweet. Yeah.
But just to let you know, I did have a coworker that I don't really work with anymore, but he's an older fella, and he he was like, well, I don't know what I don't know what verticals are. I don't know who these actors are, but I'm going to follow you just to support you. And I'm like, okay.
Amazing.
What a beautiful thing. What a wonderful
That's
thing.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was
Yeah.
like,
beautiful. I guess I have too many judgmental people in my life.
And that might be,
I'm
you know
from New
what I
York.
mean?
I'm from New York, so we are pretty brutal out here in New York. We don't really
Yeah,
give
you're
two
judgmental, but
shits.
you care. That's better than the, because LA is like
Yo, of
non-judgmental, but
course.
they don't care. You know what I mean? As long as y'all
Yeah.
care. That's
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Anyways, moving on. Danny, there's been a lot of controversy about AI in filmmaking recently. How do you feel about it? And do you see it as a exciting tool, or does it give you a pause?
It definitely is. It's an exciting tool. I think there are things clearly that are scary about it. We don't need a Tilly Norwood being our actor in the movie. We don't need,
Literally.
there's also like entire, the aspect of physical production is at, at risk. If you can just put in a prompt that says, shoot this vertical inside of this mansion, then you don't need to hire anybody but the person that writes the prompt. I do see it as a great tool, though, in the same way that CGI and VFX were great tools. And I think truly how AI should be implemented and might end up becoming implemented in the next 15, 20 years, hopefully, is unnoticeable, like some of that invisible work that VFX artists do. And it helps make their lives easier without taking away their jobs. That's where I think we can utilize. We already utilize AI all the time in the art department. We'll have. Oh my God! I did a hockey vertical, and if you look at, and we put it on all the walls, the hockey team from the 2024 to 2025 hockey team roster. It's all AI, and you look at everybody's face, and their face is all like it's all dumb, and the writing's bad, but out of focus in the background of the thing. When we only have 9 days to prep the show, we don't have time to get the actual photos or Photoshop it or any of that stuff. That's a great use of that. Great, utilize that and put it in the background, and that's perfect for what we need it to be. As it develops and gets stronger and faster, and there are serious risks to people's livelihoods and employment statuses, and I think truth and disseminating what's real and what's fake online is really, really, really scary. But in the same way that they still print newspapers, we're still making TV. You know what I mean? Even with new mediums, they're still they're not as popular as it was, but I think there's space for it to coexist maybe, and it doesn't sound like we can do much to stop what's happening as it's happening.
Yeah. I think it's just very scary right now. Nobody knows exactly where it's going to be heading. And just the fact that just the things that they can do with AI is scary. And like you said, I mean, we're using CGI now. We're using green screens. We're using, those things that we used to not have back in the day. And it's going just fine. I mean, it's a tool that's helping make these films better. Now I'm not a fan of taking a whole vertical and creating an AI version of a vertical. No, not that. But I feel like you'd kind of be a fool not to use AI to an extent.
I think it's a tool, and it's and I know that there's one of our productions, they really wanted to use AI for this one stock footage shot that we got, and it was cool because it utilizes some reference images that we have of the actual location, and now we can have the location at night. And I was like, that's cool. It's a great way of using that without having to. It should be just a filler. Yeah. It should not be the whole meal,
Yeah, exactly. So was there ever a film or a show that really changed how you think about storytelling? Something that made you want to pursue this career even more? So I guess what was that defining TV show or movie that made you?
Well, that got me into it was, I remember the bloopers for Cheaper by the Dozen. I was just like, these kids have so much fun. Loved it. I was a big fan of Scrubs growing up. Love Scrubs. Okay, so excited for this reboot. I want to be in the Scrubs reboot so fucking badly as an actor. I want to book the reboot of Scrubs. I'm putting it out there.
Let's get you in there.
I'm putting it out there. But Scrubs was huge because it was sentimental and funny and weird and had this irreverent comedy style that the fantasies can go in 1,000 different directions. And I remember it utilized like the single camera comedy television approach where it felt like a sitcom on a stage, but you can see other part. It wasn't a stage; it was like a real thing.
Yeah.
It played with different genre technique approaches within some of the fantasies, and it could be funky in 70s or medieval or whatever. I think Scrubs really broke a lot of ground for me in terms of like just going deep on some of these characters that we love, and then having some of your favorite people make you cry and laugh all in the same episode was like such a monumental, transformative thing for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's switch gears and talk about your music.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. Great.
So your first album, "Hope to See You There,"
yeah,
came out spring of 2025, so just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share what inspired the sound and story behind it?
Taha, can I say just first off, thank you for like just including the music. I don't think I've ever had like any legitimate interview about the music side of things. It's come up before, but nobody's like gone on it, so that's I just appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
What inspired the sound is, I'm a big like Mumford and Sons fan. I like kind of folky kind of vibes. I, having raised with the concept that I don't have a pretty singing voice, that I'm tone deaf, that I'm whatever. I found a rasp, I think, within how I can project that I really wanted to lean into, and like I started being like, well, this is kind of catchy. Like this kind of works in certain ways. I think I wrote most of that EP in COVID, like in lockdown, and I just played it 1,000 times, just for my roommates and my girlfriend at the time, and just for nobody else, just to play it in my bedroom, and just to play it and just play it and play it. And I was finally like, fuck, I gotta. If I want to hear, because I like these songs, I want to hear these songs. I want to listen to my music. I should record this and see what that's like. And I actually went to the guy that taught me how to play music when I was 14 at my overnight camp. Russell Mark is his musical name. He has a recording studio in Pasadena, and I was like, man, I don't know if you would be down, but I have written a couple songs. Can you engineer? Can you help me produce? What I have here, and he really helped me put together some of the arrangements and adding a couple extra instruments and finding a violin player for one of the tracks, and we utilized another camp friend for like trumpets on one of the tracks. But it came out of this thing of I had written a handful of songs during COVID. I played it 1,000 times. I had refined it in that process of playing it 1,000 times into something that felt digestible and worth recording, and then.
Yeah.
While recording it, I let all of that shit go. It's so similar to film where I just let it all go. And I was like, oh, I never even thought to put a violin here. I've played this 1,000 times without a violin. That's so much better. Oh, we can make this. And it blew my mind in a way that film hasn't in forever at this point, where I was like, oh, okay, we can, the whole world opens up sonically in terms of like, mic placement and what instruments you want added to the thing. And if I shift the chorus in front of the verse, it hits better for this reason or that reason. So all of it kind of felt like a new, fun, creative expression to kind of tackle.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite track on the EP, and what is it about that song that made it stand out for you personally?
I think a crowd favorite is "Baby, Baby, Baby, Baby."
Yeah.
I was gonna put it at the end of the EP, and then on the day that I released it, I switched it to the first song. So like this is the only people respond most to, anyways. Like let's just give it up front, because I don't trust that anybody's gonna listen past the first song, anyways. I just as an audience, we don't have the attention and whatever, and I don't have a pretty voice, and I had my first time putting out music, so I was like, if anybody just listens to the one song, here's fun, catchy, big vibe, and I think that's what people really respond to it. I'll have crews that I don't even mention my music, to. They'll see the guitar, whatever, but I won't say I have an EP out or whatever. Find it, and they'll always tag "Baby, Baby, Baby, Baby" when they're and I'll be on set and I'll be like, oh, guys, this is it was just so sweet. This is really nice. And so on the baby music video, we shot it at my birthday. I like put on a whole concert on Sunset Boulevard at the Hotel Ziggy. And It was with a bunch of vertical people who were just there
Yeah.
in my life.
Mhm.
And in the video, it's just like there's so many vertical cameos that I really love, and I'm like, it's a nice moment in time. And when I turned 30, here's where I was, and here's who I was hanging out with,
Exactly.
and this is the sound and the vibe of it all. So, I love Baby, 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 Baby. I just recorded one that I'm going to release sometime soon called Istanbul, that I wrote while in Turkey, that I really enjoy as well too. So
Yeah.
check it out. And
Yeah,
then I
because
have
I was.
another. Sorry, I have one last music video coming out at the end of the month for a song called "Who Cares" by Print Night Productions, directed by Orly Morris. So that's going to be, probably by the time this gets released, "Who Cares" is already out as well. So stream either
Probably.
music video.
Yeah, we're looking at like a
Oh,
Valentine's Day special for you, probably.
Oh my God! Okay, well, hopefully
yeah.
Istanbul's out also, and then stream that
Yeah,
shit
I'll
up.
link
Run it
all
up.
of them in the description.
That's
Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely. So,
So,
launching your first.
go ahead.
Girl, you
Sorry, I
want
was
to
getting ready
say?
to skip. No, no, I was skipping ahead.
Damn,
Go
girl,
ahead.
chill. Anyways, launching your first music must have been a huge milestone for you personally. What was the toughest part of that process, and what did you learn from it?
I hate recording music.
Oh,
I just I like being in the studio. I like coming up with ideas and creative, but technically playing the song to a click was, again, I'd played these songs 1,000 times, never to a metronome. So
right.
my rhythms all over the place. I'm not trained around other musicians as well, so like that's also kind of another part to it too. So all of those things together kind of feel like it's just a really big challenge to like put music together. And thank
Yeah.
God for Russell for like making me sound better than I am, to like make it line up, and my rhythm is on point and all these things. Because to your question, like I think the most challenging thing about it, like, is for me at least, like the technical of being perfect. When you play live, I got kind of like a carefree, fuck it, loosey goosey kind of sound, anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't really need it to be hitting right. And there's not a drummer or a bass player or anybody that like I'm gonna throw off if I throw anybody off because of my rhythm. And so,
Yeah.
but no, when you record it, like it's got to be precise. So that was a new challenge for sure.
Well, it's interesting because I just thought of this while you were talking. It's interesting you keep mentioning the guitar, but you can also play the saxophone, right?
No,
Right?
it's cool as hell though. I would wish I could play the saxophone.
Wait a minute, you?
No, I got
Okay.
trumpet.
Where'd you
hold
get
on.
that from?
Maybe it's a trumpet. Maybe it's a trumpet. Is that
But
what you said?
Yeah, trumpet. But I can't play trumpet. I'll hire a trumpet player to play that for the.
Okay. Okay. Maybe that's what I'm
Yeah.
remembering thinking
That's
of.
okay. It's totally fair. I'm
You're in
trying
too
to
much
learn.
stuff, man. That's what it is. We're always
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a little bit of everything. It's all I think. I play a little harmonica, a little keys as well, but mainly guitar is like the.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last question is, out of everything, so you've been, like as we discussed, you've been acting, you've been directing, you've been in music. What is next for Danny Farber?
Oh God, what is next for Danny Farber?
Well, currently
Okay,
it's
so
rest.
Yeah, rest.
which is great. Theoretically speaking, by the time that this comes out, we'll all know whether this has happened or not. I'm supposed to go to England for November for another vertical.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Supposed to do that in November. Maybe, hopefully, this is a real exclusive that really can't come out until this thing gets released.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll know more. There's a pirate script that a vertical actress who you guys may or may not have interviewed that you love dearly, that I love dearly, has written that I'm attached to direct, and we're gonna put it on one of the big streamers, hopefully. I have a couple. I got that new song Istanbul coming out, and then I've been talking to my team about like acting again and like really putting myself in, pairing myself with writers and writing things that I can star in that aren't verticals and things that are verticals. I have this creature feature that I don't want to give too much away about that I'm really hoping to develop with the people that did Sharknado, and do this like crazy fun B movie, like B horror movie that like would just be fucking just so fun.
Yeah.
And then we'll say that by the time that this has aired, I will have read for the new Scrubs TV show, and I will have booked at least one more professional acting thing in the SAG world to keep the TV and feature side of my acting career alive as well. At the very least, I got 4 verticals that are in the post right now that will come out by the time you have this out. I have a new song coming out, and if I don't have an acting thing, I'll make an acting thing for myself. I'm pretty reliable.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so now that we've got the questions out of the way, now we're going to hop into the 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
Currently, we're at 21 to 28.
Well, that you've gotten right?
I got 21 right. She got 28 right.
Oh,
so
shit. Okay. Damn. Okay, 2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie.
Go for it.
I one time got fired from being a riverboat tour guide for not giving the most factually accurate tours. I own a pair of Chance the Rapper's pants that I wear on occasion.
Okay.
And I threw a baseball pitch to at Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs, to Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg, while Tom Arnold and Parks and Rec's Jerry Gergich watched closely.
Whoa, so detailed.
Any of those could be lies within the details too. The devil in the details there.
That, you know what? That probably could be the lie. Who knows? Let me think. You own a pair of pants that's famous, and then you got fired. You know what? You seem like a perfect guy. You really would you really put that out there that you got fired for something so stupid? Maybe it's that shit. Are you sure there's a lie in there?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I might go with the first one. I don't think you've been fired for giving misinformation.
Misinformation. That's a fact.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
I won't.
Okay, which one did you?
I might go for number 1. Maybe he didn't get fired for giving out misinformation, because the other 2, they're just too good to be true. They probably are. The pants is probably true, and the baseball pitch thing is probably.
I'm going to say number 2. I think
pants.
Yeah.
He probably does have the pants though.
Yeah, but does he wear them on occasion? Because why would you wear them? They're from a music video. Wouldn't you just kind of save those?
Yeah, that's true. I'm not changing my answer. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. She's going for option number 2. I'm going for option number 1. We're locked in.
Okay, first of all, number 3 happened. You guys are both right about number 3. I did get a throw pitch in Chicago at Wrigley Field. It was great. All the people were there. It was really great.
Okay.
It was for a movie. It was great. Labeling it misinformation is wild because it wasn't intentionally misinformation. I did get fired from a tour guide. Number 2 is a lie. It was not intentional misinformation. It was more so I just couldn't get the tour down right, and I kept saying the wrong. I would say the mid.
You threw me off there. Shit.
Now I do have a pair of Chance the Rapper's shoes that I wear on occasion, but I would not fit into his pants. I have his shoes from a music video that I produced for him back in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't wear them for the first 2 years I had him. I was it was from a music video. It's a famous rappers. I don't want to. And then I was like, this is dumb. These are nice pair of shoes. Let me just wear them.
Yeah.
They're my Chance shoes, Yeah.
Well, congratulations to the rest of you who got that correct. Amazing.
Hey, thank you, team. There it is.
Well, hey, you can add that. He's a master of manipulation. He got.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Add that to your resume.
Awesome. I love it.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
You ready?
Rapid fire.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Acting, music, or directing?
All.
Okay. Dream genre to explore next?
Pirates.
Who is your dream cast?
And okay. Okay, but I'm gonna stick verticals because I know our audience. I'm gonna say if I can have a movie with oh my god, no, I don't want to do it because there's so many people that are gonna be so offended if I don't say that.
You could literally do Hollywood. It's okay.
Okay, all right, Dreamcast. Jack Black, Steve Martin, Jack Black, Steve Martin, Donald Faison, Turk from
Mhm.
Scrubs,
Okay.
and Bam Margera.
Okay.
That would
It's
be
an
an
all
interesting cast.
it's an all boy movie. It's a
All
movie
boy
called
Okay.
movie. It's a boy band.
yeah
There we
yeah
go.
it's a boy band, exactly right.
Favorite movie quote?
Oh my god, I don't know why this is. I went to my buddy's wedding and the whole time we quoted from the quote is "Comedy, yeah!" and that is from Saving Silverman with Jack Black and Steve Zahn and Jason Bates. No way, do you know that, Taha? You know that? No way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I'll take it.
Go to karaoke song.
Frankie Valli, you're just too good to be true.
Okay. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who'd they be?
Oh God. My grandpa who passed away in the '90s would be cool. Um, would be great to have a dinner with. Who would he want to sit with? Shit. Rapid fire. Okay.
Okay.
Who's coming to mind? Ask me again, I'll just get another gut
So,
reaction off of it.
all right. Two more people, dead or alive, you'd like to have dinner with.
Okay, I keep going back to Albert Einstein.
That's
I don't
fine.
think we wouldn't speak the same language. That would be a little bit of a moot point there. But maybe my grandpa could talk.
Yeah, maybe.
And I gotta go Johnny Knoxville just to keep the jackass
Yeah.
thing alive. Right
Yeah. Duh, I
Sure.
take it.
Sure.
What's the first question you'd ask? What?
Do I is at the dinner? That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm
I'm
guessing
assuming
at
that's
the
your thing.
dinner.
And I would ask
Yeah.
all three of them, do I sound like Seth Rogen? And 2/3 of them don't know who I'm talking about. So
You
Oh
kind of
god.
look like him now that I'm like,
uh,
what?
There is a
yeah.
resemblance.
Exactly. Sure is. Which is great. We love Seth.
Yeah. If a
Yeah.
younger self could see you now, what would he say?
Sick beard.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's
Most memorable fan encounter.
I just had a couple really, really lovely fan encounters at VertCon this past August, and there were September. There were a couple really, really nice fans that drew photos of me. Like they made fan art of me, and
Oh
then
wow.
I got to autograph it and sign it for them, and that was like a really, really nice
Oh,
and sweet and lovely thing that they decided to do.
that's
Cute.
awesome.
That was very cool of them.
What's on your bucket list for 2026?
Be in a Seth Rogen movie.
Ooh. Favorite
Ask
way to
Seth
spend a
Rogen.
Sunday?
Favorite way to spend a Sunday or start a Sunday?
Spend a Sunday.
Ideally, with a little bit of recreational cannabis. Maybe
Okay.
a pretty girl that I'm romantically involved with, and zero work.
There you
Great.
go.
What
You know,
keeps you down instantly? What
what
calms you
keep
down? What
that was what
calms you
keeps
down?
you
See.
down. Oh God, instantly is wild. 3 deep breaths.
Okay. Pet peeve in everyday life.
I can't face inward at a restaurant. I have to be
Mm,
looking out. I just can't. It's the
Mm,
ADHD or whatever. I can't stare at a
yeah.
wall.
that's fine. Do you collect anything?
Broken hearts. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I shut up. I print out my vertical scripts, and every vertical I've ever shot, I have a printout of every script, and they all have my
Yes,
notes.
and
And
you
I'm
doodle and you keep it.
Mhm.
I've seen your stories on that. Yeah, you're like,
Hell
it's
yeah,
done, and then it's on the pile
and then it's
of
on the
all.
pile, and I'm there it is, and the pile keeps getting fucking.
Yeah,
Eventually,
literally.
they're going to be worth money. I'm just saying.
Who
I got
knows?
him. I got him. I got him for now.
Describe yourself in a hashtag.
Hashtag directed by Danny Farber.
Amazing. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
It's gotta be part of the triangle of success for if this is for any freelancer. It has to satisfy your wallet, your heart, or your career. It's got to do 2 out of those 3. Between your wallet, your heart, or your career. It's got to
Or
do
your
2 out
career.
of those 3. Wallet,
Okay.
heart, career. If it doesn't do 2 out of those 3, don't take the job.
Don't do it. Take it. Amazing. What do you want your work to say about you?
What a fun guy.
Yeah. If you could live in any movie for a week, which would it be?
I broke my brain. Holy shit. So
You're
many
living in
options.
that movie for a week. You're
Oh,
literally
shit.
going to be a character on that movie.
I know.
Cast
Already.
Away.
No, that sounds awful. Yeah. Even like Pirates of the Caribbean sounds terrible. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably get scurvy.
I want to live at Willy Wonka. I want to live at the chocolate factory.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
That just sounds so great.
And then walk away with diabetes. Perfect.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. What a fun week that was, you know?
Yeah. Biggest lesson you've learned in the industry so far?
Always never be afraid to climb up and down the ladder. If you want to keep working this business, you got to be okay to climb up and down the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe success is more luck or preparation?
I think luck is preparation meets timing. So you got to be prepared.
Love that. What's your go-to comfort food after a long shot or production wrap?
Anybody that's ever been upset with me knows I love baby carrots. I just try because I love snacking and I'll eat the most unhealthy shit. So if I just have something nice in front of me, but I'll take pita chips or goldfish or pop chips or baby carrots.
Okay.
As a celebration? Like you just have that like
I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. You know.
I thought you were gonna say like In and Out, and I was like, yeah, animal style.
Yeah, In-N-Out's great too. I love McDonald's. McDonald's is great too. You know.
Yeah, who doesn't like a classic Big Mac?
Yeah.
How do you celebrate a big win?
Um,
And don't say carrots.
Hilarious. So funny. So funny. How do I celebrate a big win? It's you know a little bit of self-care somewhere in there. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
It could be anything, but really it feels like that would be a thing of like, yeah, you're celebrating people that I love.
Yeah. What's one thing you always have on set?
You're gonna laugh now. Baby carrots. No, it's baby carrots, my printed out script, or a guitar. It's one of those.
And your phone.
And my phone. Yeah, I guess printed script is really the thing though.
Yeah.
Hard copy, paper copy. I don't want to.
No, always. Always have a hard copy. You can always doodle, do what you got to do. Yeah. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
And the last question is: finish the sentence. At the end of the day, I am happiest when.
I'm with people that I love.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for participating in that mediocre rapid fire. I wanted to make it spicy. I don't know why I didn't. It
was great.
Got
It was
lost in the
great.
mix.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I will link all of your socials and all of your stuff in the description box below. Everyone go check out Sir Danny Farber. And before I let you go, Danny, Sir, do you actually have a nobility title, or is that something that you just
I'm manifesting it. I'm trying to make it happen.
Hey,
you know? Hey, come on.
Hey,
there it is.
November of 2025. If you go there and King Charles anoints you, I'm coming for that ceremony.
That'd be you'd be the first person I'd invite. Let me
Perfect. Let's go. Let's go. And towards the rest of you, thank you for making it towards the end of this video. And until next time, peace.
And just to prove that you made it to the end of this video, make sure you comment down below saying the word baby carrots. That way we know that you saw the thing.
Yes, baby carrots, guys. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your guys' time, and thanks for letting me hop on. Jennifer, Taha, you guys are great. You guys are great. Your podcast is amazing.
Thank you.